Barmy Badger Army. Welcome to today's show and welcome to another Beano review. I hope everyone is well. Today, this is issue 4090 of the Beano. How historic is that? We're nearly up to 4,100 issues. So that's nearly 100 issues since that special time travelling episode. That's mad. So here we've got, now for a nice change, you've got Minnie the Minx and Roger the Dodger and some of the pranksters on the front cover. So isn't it nice to get more than one character on the front cover? I think so. I think that's great. And it shows like a bit of a diversity in the storyline, so that's great. Now, let's take a look at the first one. Roger the Dodger. He's always got a trick up his sleeve. Indeed. So this is fantastic. I am the dad club. You know, it's hilarious the fact that Roger the Dodger tries to join in dad club and wears a disguise and all sorts of stuff. I think it's fantastic. There's Roger pretending to be a dad. I think it's great. And mixing in with some of the older characters in the Beano that he might not usually mix in with. I think that's fun and it's hilarious, and some of the little things that they get in doing, like doing all the housework, mowing the lawns, washing up and doing all sorts of random stuff as tasks to get into dad club. So there you go, I think that's hilarious. And of course, the dads managed to get one up on Roger, which I think is fantastic because in the previous week, Roger managed to get one up on the dads by forcing them out of watching their football match. So if you can see, it in a way shows that there's a bit of back and forth hilarity there. Whereas Roger got the upper hand last week, the dads have managed to take over and get him this week. And I think that's great. And it's nice to see, you know, Dennis's dad and some of the other dads. You've even got Billy Whizz's dad there, which is rare. You know, Billy Whizz's dad is there, and of course you've got the mayor and some of the other guys, and you get to see them in a different light, which is nice, that you wouldn't usually see. So a bit of personality other than them trying to take over the world. Great stuff. Bit of a social commentary on this week's one. It's very interesting. I can't tell if they're doing this in numbskulls to be funny or to push a point or what, or both, who knows. But it does mention about too much screen time for people and things like that. So it's a bit of a nod saying, you know, too much screen time and you'll fall asleep in class. And look, even the teachers sleeping in class because of potentially too much screen time. And I think maybe that's funny, but also pushing a point, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but too much of it is bad. You know, it's a bit obvious, but yeah, it is good. But yeah, I have seen worse. But yeah, I like the fact that the eyelids are so heavy that the numbskulls get squished to bits. I think that's fun. I Spy. You know, if you like Spot the Difference, that's there for you guys. I think that's great. Nice bit of Spot the Difference there to while away half an hour. Minnie the Minx becomes a takeaway driver, you know, for Uber Eats or whatever it is. And I think that's hilarious, you know, seeing Minnie the Minx throwing a pizza at full speed in someone's letterbox is hilarity ensuing. And of course you've got the fish and chips being squished in the door. I think that's great. You know, and of course a burger gets shoved in someone's mouth. So it looks like the comic book's back on form. The last couple of weeks they played it safe with some of the jokes, and it was a bit too tame for my taste, but it seems to be back on form this week, which I'm very pleased about. Food Doku, you could do that. Calamity James has some adventures at Beano Town Seaside. Looks remarkably like Southend, if I might like to judge. And of course you've got lots of silly antics where he gets ingested by a whale. So if you enjoy that, that's always fun. And of course he had a whale of a time. I do like the fizzy milk jokes. I don't know if you've ever noticed those. The little details that they put in Calamity James and some of the other strips are hilarious. And overwhelming, oh, painful. But yeah, these are good. There's some jokes here, which are always good. What's a whale's favourite sandwich? Grilled cheese. What do polite whales say? You're welcome. Oh no, puntastic. You know, it's painful but true. There's a loot competition here. I forgot to mention about the Beano boss, which is a wrestler this week. So that was fun. And, you know, these little extra touches are great. JJ, freestyling, freewheeling fun, which I think is fun. There's a good little comic strip there about throwing tennis balls and tennis rackets and, you know, eating pies and stuff. Angel Face Investigates is always funny with the case of the missing cookies. You've got an advert for the dandy there. Dennis the Menace, of course, is there on full point there. You know, it's quite funny with this one because, you know, like I was saying, the past few weeks I've been a bit scared that Bash Street Kids and Dennis the Menace were playing it safe. This week they're up to full mischief, with Dennis encouraging a new friend to use all the naughty toys and Nerf blasters and all sorts of stuff. And eventually, you know, he sort of said, it wasn't my fault, you know. But I think that's great fun that he's able to let loose there and have a smashing time. So do check that. That was probably one of my favourites there. Dangerous Dan was good. Barbecue time with some lasers, you know, which was quite a fun little throwaway strip there. Quite quick, but good. I do like the artwork on that strip actually. Dan is very well drawn there, and I like the way they've drawn the mum as well. That was very good. You know, it does show you that they're not afraid to mix up the art styles, which is good. It keeps it fresh. Ha Ha's Joke Shop has a bit of trouble with Very Quiet Time. Maybe if some of the Beano characters that liked pranking was still in it, maybe they wouldn't have a quiet time, if you know what I mean. You know, what about Les Pretend and the gang, and of course, you know, Tricky Dicky. Maybe if they were still in Beano Town, they would be customers of the Ha Ha's Joke Shop. Indeed, yeah. And there's this week's prank, which is some jelly beans in a pair of shoes, and you literally shove jelly beans in someone's shoe. Ouch is the word. Don't try that at home, kids. Ouchals. Bash Street Kids is definitely my favourite strip this week. This is on form. Bash Street Kids were playing it safe the last couple of weeks with the reintroduction of some characters, the changing of names of some characters, and the introduction to some characters as well. But this week is on form. Whoever wrote this week's Bash Street Kids is not afraid, and thank you very much to the lovely Andy Fanton and David Sutherland, because this was one of my favourites this week. Look, they're not afraid to blast teacher in the eye with lights, grill his face, fart on him, water pistol him, and all sorts of stuff. You know, it's just great. And of course, chucking feathers at him. The Bash Street Kids are back on form. So that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that strip. That was my favourite this week. You've got obviously the Be More Beano stuff. Do check that. That was fun. You know, Badger Jr. has been in there before, which was great. Betty the Yeti. Always a good silly strip there about farting Yetis, which is great, and pinatas. So that is always a good crack. That's very fun. Oh, do make me laugh. You know, that's the thing with Betty the Yeti. It's always a good laugh, isn't it? And you've got a lovely little word search there, which is great, introducing maths and English into these things. I think it's fantastic. But like I've mentioned before, my favourites are the board games that they put in there. I think that's great. Banana Man! When Eric eats a banana, an amazing transformation occurs. Eric is Banana Man. And this week they're raking out the old Rose Gallery, which is great. We have Cream Man, which I don't remember, but I remember what he looks like, but I didn't remember he was called Cream Man. I think that's so daft. You know, and you have Banana Man having to change because he got smelly cream all over his suit, and then he's able to defeat the bad guys in his pants. I mean, whoa, come on. That is hilarious. You know, and just the way they do it as well, where he's all shy and stuff. I think it's hilarious. So it just shows you that, you know, there was a lot of villains out that day. You've got the Cheeky Gang that are in there. You've got Cream Man, you've got Weatherman, Apple Man. You've got loads of the guys, and you've got the mob as well. You know, it's great stuff. So there's quite a lot of villains in this week's episode, and a nice little appearance of Eric, which I think starts it off nicely. I don't really like it when they don't have Eric in the strip, because in the cartoon, you know, it was half and half, wasn't it? The first half, Eric would be in it and he'd have some little adventure, and then it would set up the stuff for Banana Man. And I think that's the best formula. I don't really like it when you just see Banana Man. I think it's good to see Eric in the strip as well. But yeah, you've got Ruby's Screw-Top Science, which I think is a fun little series as well, and all the sorts of bits and pieces there. I don't think, yeah, is it the same person that was doing it last week? I think it is, and that was really cool. Nice little artwork there, and they're up to mischief finding things for Beano Town maps on a tablet, which I think is always fun. Indeed, well worth a look, with Pie Face and the gang as well. That was good fun. Ah, yeah, Billy Whiz off on adventures. Now, this is my question. Billy Whiz apparently can only ever wear these clothes. So the clothes he got there ripped in a second. So does this mean that the black and white trunks are his superhero suit? Who knows? Are they coated and are they made by someone that knew he was fast, and that's why he whizzed about, and that's why they've not broken? If that's a question, I wonder if you guys know who designed that, and was it always red and black that he wore, or was there a different colour? Because I found out the other day that Minnie the Minx wore different colours as well in the 50s and that. Stinky Stock Stan, which is always fun, do check that. About a boy with smelly socks, so that's always good fun. But yeah, my favourite strips this week were definitely Roger the Dodger, and Bash Street Kids being back on form was great. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. And this was loads of fun to read. I do recommend this issue, even if it's just for a couple of strips. It was really fun. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.